Where did the lost Roman legion come from? Where did they go? Where did they come from, Cotton-Eyed Joe? Also, how many of them were named Joe? Stick around and you might just learn the answers to these questions on this episode of Unsolved Mysteries Solved! Heyo, yo, what it is?
What's
it's your boy. I'm trying to do all of the really annoying YouTube things.
What's up, gamers?
What's up, guys? It's your boy. I am Chad Kimmons, PhD in solving unsolved mysteries, as usual. And with me, as always, is my co-host,
PhD Colt Joyce here, checking in. Unfortunately, the coronavirus got me, and I have a bad cold, so if I sound nasally, that's why.
Or if you die in the middle of the recording.
Yep.
Yeah, I was sorry to hear that you got sick.
It's all right. It was my time. I haven't been sick in a while.
So, everybody just has a time to get sick then?
Yeah, it's, have you ever seen... This is such a dumb connection. Have you seen that movie that was about to come out called, I think, what is the name of it? Death Clock or something? You download that app, and it tells you when you're going to die.
No, I can honestly say I have no idea what you're talking
Sounds
about.
Sounds good. Well, I was going to make a connection to that, and then I thought, wait, that's not funny at all because it's a terrible movie. So we could backtrack.
No, this is staying in. I want everyone to know that you wanted to make a terrible joke. So moving right along, welcome back to the podcast, guys. It is Thursday again, and you know what that means. It's time for us to solve yet another mystery. And if you've never listened to the podcast, the way it works is we're going to talk about an unsolved mystery, and then we're going to solve it at the end. And, as we always say, don't question us, because if you do, you'll be put down.
Right.
Or as Colt was, I don't remember which episode it was, but Colt said you would have your throat slit. So
yeah, it was the Jack the Ripper episode, and I was kind of feeling horny for murder. So
Horny for Murder is a great band name.
Oh, yes, it is.
So let's just go ahead and jump right in here. Colt, do you know anything about the Lost Roman Legion?
No, I don't. We definitely didn't record this before and lose the recording.
Yeah, we definitely. Colt knows nothing about this. Yeah, we did record this episode a couple weeks ago, and I forgot that my fan was on, and so all of the audio had to be scrapped because it was just garbage. It sounded like I was recording on the on the wing of an airplane. So
there's our DB Cooper tie-in there.
Let me refresh your memory.
Yeah, I've definitely legitimately I've forgotten pretty much everything about it.
Well, we're gonna go way, way, way back on this one. I think further than we've ever been so far. We're going to go all the way back to the 1st century BCE. That's before current era. It is the new correct way of saying BC.
Gotcha.
We're going to be talking about the Legio Ninth Hispana, or the 9th Spanish Legion. Now, the 9th Legion was a legion of the Imperial Army. Let me try that one again. Of the Imperial Roman Army.
Gotcha.
It existed from the 1st century BCE until at least 120 CE, which is current era.
Okay.
And their disappearance sometime in or before the 120 CE has been the subject of a lot of scholastic debate. Honestly, there's not a whole lot of information about this, but I think that's what makes people so interested in it is, as you'll see, they just kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
I know there was a novel written about it in 1954 called The Eagles of the Ninth, because their symbol was a big golden eagle that they carried around.
Oh, dope.
There have been a bunch of films made about the subject. The one that I remember the most was just called The Eagle, and it's one of the son of one of the commanders or something went to Scotland to retrieve the 9th signature golden eagle.
Huh.
But
Okay.
now with this one, we're going to be kind of all over the place because there's evidence that the Ninth was stationed pretty much all over Europe, you know. And I want to get out ahead of this. It's not the same guys, obviously.
Yeah, yeah. What were the dates again there? Because they were around for a long ass time, right?
From like the first century BCE to 120 CE. So
Okay.
at least 200 years.
Yeah, that's quick maths right there. 200 years, definitely.
So I mean, it's not the same guys in there. It's just the Ninth Legion existed in some form or another until they didn't, and it was very sudden.
Gotcha.
So the origin of the Legion is pretty relatively unknown. There are records of a Ninth Legion that participated in the siege of Asculum during the Social War in 90 BCE.
Okay.
And then in 58 BCE, when Julius Caesar became governor of Cisalpine Gaul, he inherited 4 legions. One of them was numbered the ninth.
Okay.
And under Caesar, they were probably quartered in, I'm going to mess this up, Aquileia? I don't know. To guard against attacks from the Illyrians.
Gotcha.
They were also used in Caesar's attack on the Helvetii to initiate the Gallic Wars, and fought in the battles of Dyrrhachium and Pharsalus in 48 BCE.
Okay.
And they were even part of the African campaign of 46 BCE. And then after Caesar's final victory, he disbanded the legion and settled the veterans in the area of Picenum.
Okay.
So far, this is... I think I asked you last time if you've ever played Civilization 5, Sid Meier's.
Yeah, and I haven't between then and now, but I'll recount. I haven't done my homework, Chad. But I did play the first Civilization on the PlayStation 1 as a very young boy, and that's my only experience with the franchise.
Well, in the 5th one, I'm not. I've only played the 5th one and the 6th one, and the 6th one's
Gotcha.
garbage. In the 5th one, you basically start out with a settler and a warrior, and like you send your warrior out to scout while you use your settler to find a good place to settle a city. Usually my first warrior always winds up like way out in the middle of nowhere, like on a different continent or something before it gets killed by barbarians. And that to me is kind of like, it's kind of how I'm imagining this. Like the Ninth was just wandering all over the place. They were sent everywhere. And then they were just killed by barbarians.
Well, we solved it then, for sure. It sounds like...
But, so they remained in that area until Octavian, later I think he was renamed Augustus, recalled the vets of the Ninth to fight in a rebellion in Sicily.
Gotcha.
And then after putting down the rebellion, they were sent to Macedonia.
Okay. That's something about... that's something about like ancient Roman history that's always been super confusing to me. The number of people named Augustus or some version of that, or Caesar or some version of that. It's like half of the people in Roman history.
I think it was just leaders. I believe.
Yeah, my PhD is in Roman history. But does Caesar mean something? I feel like I'm sidebarring a little bit, so sorry about that.
No, you're fine. I was thinking that it did.
But okay.
Yeah, it's a title used by Roman emperors.
Oh.
So Julius Caesar, Augustus Caesar, Hadrian Caesar.
Here I was thinking it was a name for the longest time. I thought everyone was just naming their kid Caesar back in the day.
Yeah, everybody, they just really liked iceberg lettuce and Caesar dressing.
Right. Yeah.
And like Caesar salads were really big back then.
Definitely.
And everybody was just like, not a lot of people know this, but foodies originated in the Roman Empire.
I think it's important to note that.
I love this idea of like, instead of taking selfies, they just have like a stone tablet or taking a picture of their food, and they're like chiseling either a description of it into the stone tablet or like just like a picture of their food.
That's what the Rosetta Stone was.
There's a wall somewhere and they put their stone tablet out and like, yeah, that was lunch I had today. It looked so good. I had to get a picture of it.
Other Romans come by and chisel little heart emojis below it.
Yeah, so people come by just thumbs up. Um, God, no, I'm not gonna say that. I will, but I'll cut it out. I hate people who take pictures of their food.
No, you got to keep that in there. I to somewhat agree.
Like, if it's something that's like super like weird or something, cool. But if it's like, man, this is such a good grilled cheese and tomato soup, I don't need a picture of that.
Yeah, I don't have much love for food selfies on Instagram myself.
Felfies.
Oh, felfies. Maybe if we call them that, no one will do it again because it's such an awful word.
It'll just catch on, and then you'll be hearing Felfie all the time. So they're in Macedonia. From here, based on inscriptions in various places, we can tell that between 43 BCE to about 108 CE, the Ninth Legion probably participated in the invasion of Britain.
Gotcha.
I mean, they were all over England during this time. They were at the forefront of nearly every major battle, including the Battle of Camalodunum. So yeah, this battle.
Yeah.
And, it was also known as the Massacre of the Ninth because literally only the cavalry of the Ninth Legion survived.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah, they were ambushed or something. I can't remember exactly what happened there. But then they were later nearly wiped out again by a surprise attack during the invasion of Caledonia, which is which is modern Scotland. This was again another, they were guarding this fort, and they, I guess, got surprised by an attack and were almost wiped out. But reinforcements arrived just in the nick of time, and bolstered the spirits, and they were able to hold until the reinforcements could like meet them in the middle, so to speak, like fight their way through.
Gotcha. Is that like Braveheart era? I'm trying to like place it in my brain.
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Braveheart's way later.
Because,
yeah, never mind.
Yeah, because during Braveheart, they were fighting against the English for autonomy.
Okay.
Thank God, I couldn't think of that word. They were fighting for autonomy against the English, and during this time, Caledonia was considered part of the British Empire.
Okay, yeah. I have no idea what I'm talking about. The Braveheart is definitely much later.
And then the last time that we know that the Ninth was active in Britain was during the rebuilding of York in 108 CE.
Gotcha.
So, there are inscriptions that were found in the 90s in the Netherlands, which I think the last time we did this, when I was thinking the Netherlands were like way over by like Iceland and Greenland.
Was this the bit where I forgot about boats existing? I think
yeah. I think it was. Yeah.
Sad we lost that bit where I looked horrifically stupid on the podcast. I don't.
Well, we lost the bit, but we can basically. The first time we recorded this, Colt was like, "Well, how did they get there? Did they just like walk?" And I was like, "No, like their boats existed, Colt." Yeah, well, I looked stupid too because I was thinking the Netherlands were way over there, and Netherlands are actually like right near Germany.
Right.
But in the 90s, there were inscriptions that they found that attested that the Ninth Hispana was present there sometime after 104 CE.
Okay.
And then there was an altar to Apollo found in Germany that can also be traced back to this time, and this was attributed to Lucius Latinius Macer.
Okay.
And he was the prefect of the Ninth Legion at the time. The last evidence that we know of the Ninth suggests that the Ninth was last seen in Nijmegen in the Netherlands.
Okay, cool.
And after that, there's no definitive evidence to suggest where the Ninth might have been. What's your take so far? Like, what are you thinking?
Sure. So it sounds like they're just popping off all over the place, and then I don't really like know what the world was like, what was going on at 100 BCE, or no, East. What is the other one after Common Era, CE? Yeah, I don't really like know what that world was like. So if there was a lot of wars and they were still fighting, maybe they just got wiped out and they just didn't record it because there was so much shit happening at the time.
Well,
That's kind of
and
where
see,
I'm landing.
that's what's so weird about it is that like, well, this time period was like the Romans were taking over everything. Like this
Right.
was before I don't like calling it the fall of the Roman Empire because it's not like they just fell apart overnight. The decline of the Roman Empire, it was before that. It was like kind of during their peak.
Okay. That's what makes it interesting, is that they disappeared like in the middle of like a good time and no one knows where they
Yeah,
went.
and what's weird about it is that the Romans kept impeccable records. So for them to just have no record of what happened to this legion, that's the weird thing. Like that's
That
what
is
makes
weird.
it so mysterious.
Conspiracy stuff. Ancient Roman conspiracy stuff. All right.
Yeah, well, I mean, Illuminati, something, 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 dark side. You know, like, I blame the Jedi.
Yes.
So for the longest time, the biggest theory that was that they were destroyed in Britain while fighting the indigenous Celtic tribes around 108.
Okay.
But when the evidence in the Netherlands was found in 2015, that theory fell out of favor very quickly.
Gotcha.
There was another story that suggested that the 4,000 legionnaires, because that's what a legion is, between 4 and 6,000.
Okay. Well, that's a lot of people to go missing.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Is like there's
Yeah.
a lot of people to just turn out missing. There was another story that suggested that the 4,000 legionnaires were passing through what is now the Scottish town of Dunblane, and they just disappeared.
Oh.
But there are no records of any battles, and like I guess back then the Caledonians, had they participated in a battle like this and beaten the Romans, they would not have stayed quiet about it. Like,
Yeah.
I guess, you know, like they would have been like, "Ha ha, you sons of bitches, we killed your legion." Like just lobbing insults over the English Channel at Rome.
Yeah. Very Monty Python.
Like, I'm just imagining like they send up smoke signals or something, and like Rome sees it, and they're like, "Oh shit," because you know you can see smoke signals from that far away.
Probably. I don't know. I don't know how the English Channel works. People can swim across it, I've heard.
Well, yeah, people have done that. But yeah, since there were no Roman records of there being a battle, and since the Caledonians didn't claim any such victory, that theory kind of fell to the wayside. There was a theory that they were destroyed in Judea in 132 CE during a rebellion.
Okay.
There is some evidence to suggest that one could be true, but the 22nd Diotariana Legion was stationed there at the time.
Okay.
And had one legion been wiped out, they both would have been wiped out, but the one that was stationed there survived. And like this would have been the biggest loss in over 100 years to have ever been recorded, and there was no record of that happening.
Interesting. Okay.
Again, going back to the fact that the Romans kept impeccable records.
Yeah.
So, essentially, we've just got a bunch of theories, and you know, with most unsolved mysteries, or else it would be, you know, hard evidence, not theories.
Yeah.
We've just got a bunch of theories and no real, like, nobody knows what happened. They just kind of disappeared.
Huh. Okay. Interesting. Well, no one except for us knows what happened, is
Yeah.
what you
Yeah.
meant to say.
Yeah, we know what happened. And now the world is about to find out, or at least
Yes.
anyone who listens to this podcast.
For sure.
So Colt, what are you thinking? What happened? Tell me, guide me through it.
All right. So I'm thinking this is a pretty classic. The Legion goes AWOL and the government doesn't want to acknowledge it kind of situation here. That's the only like thing I can think of. Like, why would they go missing and the Romans, who are keeping these great records, just completely sweep it under the rug? So I'm thinking, and I'm trying to I feel like I need a little help here to make this go home. But like, what's a new like warring tribe that was born in this time period that we can say came from the Ninth Legion? Because that's the only place I can think they went.
I have no idea, honestly.
Okay.
I didn't do any research on that particular.
Okay. Well, hold on, just had a moment of inspiration. When was soccer invented? Because I think this coincides pretty closely with the disappearance of the Ninth Legion. Ooh, more than 2,000 years ago, soccer was invented. Okay, so
That's what I'm reading. Is more than 2,000 years ago, the Greeks, Egyptians, and Chinese all appear to have taken, but not the Romans, though.
ooh, well,
No, the Roman game of Harpastum was a possession-based ball game in which each side would attempt to retain possession of a small ball for as long as possible. That
okay, sounds like soccer a little bit.
I mean, yeah, but they're not trying to score points. That almost sounds more like rugby, but without trying to score points.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just thinking of what exists in Europe that is about 4 to 6 thousand people and very militant, and all that I can think of is local soccer teams, and that's where I'm gonna rest my case. I think this was the first small, like soccer team with a fan base that got violent. Have you heard about some of the stuff like in like the local soccer teams in Europe that are like legitimately at war with each other?
Oh, you're talking about recently where they're
Yes.
like, yeah, I've read some of that on Reddit. God, people get way too into sports.
They have the military there at the soccer games to make sure people aren't killing each other.
So I guess refine this for me a little bit. Like,
Yeah, for
refine
sure.
it down.
Yeah.
Because right now it just seems like you're saying it's a big 4,000 person soccer team.
No. The and their travels, right? So they're hopping all over the place. They're going to Great Britain. They're going to Africa. They're going to Sweden, the Netherlands. While they're traveling around, they're gathering cultural stuff, and
I
they're
just
trying
want
to
to point out, I don't know where you got the idea that they were in Sweden.
They're probably there.
Because I never said they were in Sweden. Colt, do you know more about this than you're letting on?
Listen, it's right next to the Netherlands. They gotta
You're
remember.
just, I bet you're just like, yeah, my family actually carries the Ninth Legion legacy. We have since those days.
Yeah.
I've actually got the Golden Eagle. It's sitting right next to me. And now that you know that, Chad, I have to kill you. So
I have to kill you. Yeah, it's hanging above my bed. I look in it every night as I'm falling asleep. Yeah, so they're not all on the soccer team. That would be ridiculous. What isn't ridiculous is they've invented the game of soccer after traveling around all of Europe and the different places, and they became the first militant soccer fan base in Europe, eventually converting the other legions into other militant soccer fan bases, and that's why the Roman Empire fell apart. I think we've solved two birds, one stone here.
Are the Scottish super big into soccer?
Probably. I don't know. Probably.
Because, I mean, my theory is just that they settled down around Dunblane, and just kind of integrated. Like, they were just like, oh, we're tired of fighting for the man, and just laid down their weapons and integrated, started having wives and children. And I was like, well, I mean, if the Scottish are super into soccer, maybe these two theories mesh together.
Maybe.
Maybe Dunblane became the soccer capital of the world for a short time.
It could be. I think it's important to just pay attention. Like, this is how the Roman Empire collapsed, and I think we just stumbled upon that, and we can't back out of it too far. Yeah.
Once soccer was invented, they were like, there's no more need for war. We'll just use soccer. From that day forward, they used, anytime they wanted to go to war with somebody or had a dispute, they would just have a soccer match instead.
Right.
But as all things come full circle, we're coming back around to the point where it's becoming less about soccer and more about violence and whatnot. So
Yeah. It's just the world we live in, Chad. Where
I mean, it's
It's a violent world.
Everything's a cycle. Okay. I mean, I can get on board with that. Yeah.
I think just soccer related. The world's fuzzy. Other than that, but I know soccer had something to do with the disappearance of the Ninth Legion.
Look, we're not sure about the details, guys, but we know soccer was invented sometime around this time.
Right.
Somewhere around this time. And, I mean, is that a coincidence? Can't be.
Can't be. Impossible.
Everybody listening at home is just like, yes, it's absolutely a coincidence. You guys are morons.
No, it's definitely true.
Okay. Well, there you have it, guys. The Ninth Legion invented soccer and settled down to become the world's first soccer community. And the Roman Empire, of course, basing everything on war and conquering things, fell apart because now that soccer was invented, they could settle their disputes with soccer matches, and now there's no more need for war. So the Roman Empire fell apart.
Yeah.
I really like that theory, actually.
I like it a lot. I think it's true.
Yeah, so this was a bit of a short episode this time because there's not a whole lot of information on the Roman Legion. But that's okay. Said it in other episodes that we've recorded where I'd rather have, 20 minutes of good quality content than an hour of us just bullshitting and people losing interest.
Yeah, for sure.
But there's the solution for you. If you like it, great. If you don't, too freaking bad. As usual, don't question us because, you'll be put down and all that stuff. And then we'll probably have to go to prison for murder. And
That'd be rough. Yeah, don't want to do that. So don't question us.
Really, it's your fault if we have to put you down because you shouldn't have questioned us. This is sounding more and more like just a really toxic, abusive relationship. Yeah. Well, if she, not to make light of that kind of thing, but if she hadn't talked back, I wouldn't have had to hit her, because that is the logic of most partner
jeez, I just want to be able to threaten violence casually and in a fun way, guys. Just don't.
Well, you have anything else to add on about this particular topic before we do our outro and get out of here?
I think we've done a great job here to solve a lot of big questions. Oh, there's a dog barking.
Yeah, I heard that. That's okay. He agrees with you, or she agrees with you.
Yeah, Baxter the dog agrees with me. I think the fall of the Roman Empire is not something we set out to solve here, but sometimes you get more than you bargain with.
Oh, your history book says it was economics and things like that caused the decline of the Roman Empire. Your history books are wrong. Okay.
Definitely.
I'm just saying, your history books aren't going to tell you that Lee Harvey Oswald was a patsy when he killed JFK. They're just going to be like, hey, Lee Harvey Oswald did it in the story. Look, there's, a page worth of information. So, Again, don't question us. We know what we're talking about. I went to school for 15 years to get this degree. And the entire time they were like, sir, we don't offer that degree. We don't even offer classes in that. And I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm here to get to the truth. I'm throwing books all over the library, trying to study. And they're like, what are you doing, sir? I'm making a mess, but I'm finding the truth. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. The local public library kicked me out 3 times, but they're just trying to censor me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they I think the same library probably kicked me out about 12 times.
Wow.
Some of those were related to the fact that I might not have been wearing clothing. But, I prefer to think that it was just because I was close to finding the truth and they didn't want me to because they're on it with the government.
Mm-hmm.
This went off the rails really fast.
A little bit, yeah.
Regardless, that is going to do it for this week's episode. If you enjoyed the episode, as usual, the best way to support us at the moment is just to rate us 5 stars on iTunes, leave a review, and to that point, we are still running our little thing where if you review and rate the show before the 10th episode goes live, you will get a personalized shout out on a future episode. You can also support us by word of mouth. Tell everybody that you know. I've been doing it. I think Colt has been doing it.
I
have been doing it.
Yeah.
Just everybody you know, even strangers, Get a hold of your local politicians. Get them involved.
They're not busy right now.
Yeah. Then
Yeah.
your politicians aren't busy, like, getting ready for a new election. Write to President Trump and be like, hey, got a great podcast for you to listen to. Tell him it's going to make America great again. He'll probably listen.
Tell them we're the new Fox News.
You can also find us on Facebook at Unsolved Mysteries Solved and on Twitter at Solved Podcast. And as usual, if you have any mysteries you want us to solve on the show, or if you just want to drop us a line, threaten our lives, tell us that we're amazing, try to get our personal details so you can stalk us, whatever you want to do. You can do that with an email to mysteriessolvedpodcast, all one word, at gmail.com. And until next time, remember, again, if you question us, you'll be put down.
Yeah. I've never had a stalker before. That sounds fun. Someone should try that.
It does sound fun until, you have a stalker and then you have to deal with that. But,
yeah. Well, it'll be fun for a little bit. Go for it, guys.
Anything to add before we get out of here, Colt?
No. I think we're good to go.
Okay.
Thanks for listening, guys. I'll talk to you next week when I have a different degree.
Yeah. What was your extra degree this time? I don't think you said.
I didn't say. Well, it's a degree in footballology.
Footballology?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, it came in handy. So.
Yeah, I'm one of one on that. The only one with that degree.
All right. Well, see you next week, guys, and thanks for listening.
All right. Bye.